Welcome back to That's So Vegas. I'm your host, Christine McKellar, live here at the WCOBM studio in fabulous Las Vegas, and I'm so excited to be sitting here with Nancy Barr. Hopefully you watched that first segment because we were talking a little bit about Nancy's background, how she had polio as a child, 9 years old. In her head, heart, and soul, she just said, no, this is not going to happen to me. And she overcame that very vile disease that so many people suffered from until I'm very thankful. I can't imagine. But then again, I asked you about some of your experiences, and I know that one, you actually had a vision at the Twin Towers in the 80s. So this is 20-some years prior to.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
You just had a horrible feeling come over you, like feeling sick.
It started with a heaviness and a sick feeling, which was odd. And then when we came out from the restaurant, and there were others with me, about 12, I think. And I just saw it. I felt it. And I saw flames coming up from the elevator, and I just had this horrible feeling. And then I saw the whole building. I said to people I was standing, I said, it's not going to topple over. It's going to implode. It's just going to come straight down.
Oh.
So there was another time where somebody came into the bottom of it, about 12 years before the original one, or the second one, and I went, oh, thank God it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was like, phew.
Oh, when they did the garage bomb.
And then I thought, well, we changed something, or something didn't happen, and I was very happy about that. But I saw it, and I said, it's going to change the world. Whatever this is going to be major, and from that point on, everything was going to take off. Well, I worked when this happened, when the second one happened, when all of it did implode, two buildings. I was working for a high, very fast computer company, and I was brought out here for this, and it could reach every household in 2 days. There were only 3 of them. IBM had one of them, and it was built by Cisco, and IBM had one, India had another one, and we had the third.
Supercomputer.
Mm-hmm. And I was doing the business development for this, and my boss came in and asked me to start calling and see if the Red Cross needed our technology. So I started, this is so strange, because I started with the Red Cross, and I kept getting patch. I ended up talking to the director of FEMA that day.
Oh, that's right.
The 9/11, and afterwards, I don't know. I just it totally freaked me out. I started having a little bit of a
PTSD.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm sitting there going, "Oh my God, the whole world's going to change. This is it." And sure enough, the world did change.
The world did
unfortunately,
change.
But it is what it was, unfortunately.
And I did want to ask you a little further in another segment, and maybe we will wait to get to that, but about people who believe in end times and things of that nature, more on the religious end of it,
Well,
but
we're in a new age, and the Aquarian age. The Aquarians, like Norm's Aquarian, and many people are Aquarian, they should understand that it's a very creative age. It's a time for the end of time, to me. The end of time, T-I-M-E, and mind, M-I-N-D, are the same thing. So when we say it's the end of time, what it means is the way we think.
Oh.
And so we're going through a whole bunch of different concepts, getting rid of stuff. You see all kinds of things happening, like the politics, that this has never happened before. We've never seen it quite like this. And we're coming into people waking up, and when I say waking up, I mean instead of just believing something, they're starting to want to know. They want to understand. They want to see it differently. They want it to change. They don't want it to accept it just because that's all there is, and someone told them to. So there's a freedom, which is one of the laws, the universal laws, the first law, actually.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
It's one of the universal first laws is freedom. The whole journey was based on freedom of law, don't obey it because that's all you know, but find out, do your thing, and
express yourself,
and then come back to it and see if it works for you,
right?
Kind of thing.
So
and
that's why
I minimize that a lot, but
anyway. I mean, seriously, but that's why communism
right.
was so oppressive, and so it left, even to this day, there are dark stains on the earth because of how those people were oppressed.
The earth has gone through 4 different times of flooding and fire and flooding and you know, so I mean it's not like this was we just keep trying to get it back and get it right, you know, get it right. By right I mean free in the sense that people can be who they are and be one with the nature of spirit and so on.
And that brings us to, that doesn't saying that there's a lawlessness there, because spirit would have to be pure, correct? I mean, you can't have evil like Darth Vader type as opposed to the Force, or is there? I mean,
well, are there both? Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
Well, yes, we've seen.
I mean, yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
I've seen it.
I think it's going
Anyway.
to change. Again, that's the idea of the end of time, is that things are changing. We're in the midst of change. And in the next, it'll be the first, this is a Nancyism, okay?
Okay,
In
great.
the first time in, 400 billion years, dark cannot get to the next stage.
How
The
do you-
evil cannot go, because we're going through a photon belt. It's about vibration. It's about quantum physics. And the eye of the needle, the Bible talks about the eye of the needle. Well, it is the eye of the needle, and you have to vibrate at a certain vibration. From my experience, you have to vibrate at a certain vibration in order to get through it. So this is why it was even said in Scripture. You're a Christian. It was even said in Scripture that, and you did Bible study.
I did,
So did
yeah.
I. It was even said in Scripture that they knew the end of time. There was when you have a beginning, you have a time, you have an end. That's time,
Right.
beginning and end. And even though it's an illusion. We talked about illusion, but
Yeah.
even though it's an illusion, because if you didn't have a watch on, you wouldn't even know what time it is.
That's true. And then you have the Alpha and Omega.
5 minutes can seem like 10 minutes. It can
Yes.
seem like a second,
Yes.
depending on how you're perceiving it.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is amazing time right now. It's amazing time to be here on Earth. It's an amazing time to know and get to know that we're not limited, and
Right.
that we have so much that was given to us that seems to be untapped, and it's going to come off.
I think too, what happens with people though, there's like a negativity blanket.
Yes.
If you dwell too much on the atmosphere, the warming and the ozone layer, and not that we don't have to show some concern and do things that we can, like recycle, but that's part of the consciousness waking up to
Right.
taking stewardship, I guess you could say, of all
Well,
the.
this is sort of a black hole kind of existence right now,
Ooh.
and
I love black holes.
well, black
I
hole.
don't want to be in one.
Black
but-
hole is just a centrifugal force, but it turns into light, and it eventually goes into a white hole if you want to get into the physics of it.
Well, I love those
But,
shows on that.
and and what I'm saying is, yes, there's there's distractions, but more and more people are breaking out and want to be free from all the stuff that doesn't seem to be right. Discernment is extremely important.
It is important, isn't it?
And I don't think any of us can discern truly for another person. I think it's their spirit. Nothing should stand in the way between that person and their spirit and their high self. In my opinion,
But, too, and here's a perfect example, a lot of people drug themselves.
right.
Or whether it's alcohol, whatever, or actual street drugs, cocaine, or excessive alcohol consumption, and sex. I mean, there's all kinds of things that people do, but they don't understand that those are actually blocking
Right.
their...
Well, it's like trying to get a bliss and a control over spirit when the spirit resides in them anyway. And Jesus taught. Everybody taught it. All the
masters.
all of the masters have been here teaching the same thing, the path. And for the first time, I think the energy is coming. The energy has already come. And July 4th was a big, huge shift of energy. 2/12 was a big shift of energy. We're having energy come in. And I think that's what's happening is the negative force, the thinking or ideas, are getting condensed. And they're getting squashed, and they're getting sort of put in a place where they don't have a lot of room anymore. So they're fighting harder.
Yeah, that's interesting. And also...
Platforms,
right,
thought ideas, and so forth.
Think about what the internet has done as far
Yeah.
as that, because anything spreads quicker than a polio virus, right? I mean, as
Right.
far as whether it's negative or positive. Ooh, goody, we're going to come back and talk about this some more. I'm having a lot of fun here. I love this type of conversation.
I know, me too.
I have to give a shout out to my sponsor. They're nice cosmic people. The Red Roof Inn across from the Hard Rock. I said Hard Rock. That could have been a Freudian. We'll talk about that in a minute. Pet friendly and close to the airport and Strip, the Red Roof Inn. Don't go away, come back. We're going to delve a little bit more into some of this stuff. We'll see you in just 5 minutes.